There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. Home to formidable brands with Jollibee at the helm. It operates over 5,800 stores spanning 35 countries across Asia, North America, and Europe. From its humble ice cream house beginnings to becoming a dominant industry leader, JFC's business model has sustained profitable growth for 4 decades, evidenced by its steadily increasing net sales, profit, and stock market performance. It is the recipient of numerous international accolades, from Best Employer to Most Outstanding Corporation, to Asia's most admired company. JFC continuously gives back to the communities it operates in through the Jollibee Group Foundation. Its core programs are centered on food security, alleviating hunger so children can continue their schooling, and connecting small farmers to sell their produce to large institutions to uplift their livelihood. Through consistent taste superiority, outstanding value for money, and the highest quality of food, service, and cleanliness, coupled with the talent and commitment of its world-class organization expanding across the globe, JFC delivers on its mission to bring the joy of eating to everyone. Taking it closer to its vision of becoming one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world. This is Jollibee Foods Corporation.
All right, so good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the LPU Batangas First Career Congress for the year 2022-2023. So this webinar series is brought to you by LPU Batangas Career Development, Alumni and Placement, and Jobs180.com. So today we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, Ernst Young, IQEQ, Probe, and PEZA Group. So before we start, may we invite everybody for the identification, followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Almighty Father, we raise our hearts to you in gratitude for the years of meaningful existence of LPU as an institution devoted to quality education that seeks to develop the competence and shape the character and values of our youth. We thank you for your love and the many blessings you have given to LPU. Help us to show our gratitude by loving and caring for each other, by following your holy will as we seek for truth, by using the talents you have given us in serving God and our fellow men, by sharing our successes with others, and by glorifying you in all our achievements. Heavenly Father, we entrust our university to your fatherly care and protection as we humbly pray. Bless and protect the LPU community, our board chair and board members, our president and our university officials, our teachers and staff, our students and their parents, our alumni and industry partners, our local and international partners in quality assurance, our adopted communities, and our respective families. We also pray for our national leaders that through their exemplary leadership, they may lead our country to progress, preserving the Christian values and ideals of a democratic society. We pray especially that our dear founders may enjoy everlasting peace. We ask all these in confidence through your Son, Jesus Christ, our Redeemer and our Savior. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, helas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigiw, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo pagaw, ay nilatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad ko'y tagumpay na naghihinig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitingin. Luman ang araw ng walang pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
All right, so thank you, Tex. So again, welcome everyone. So by the way, my name is Joyce from Jobs180.com. I will be your today's host, and we are live via Jobs180 Facebook and Jobs180 YouTube page, as well as LPU Batangas Career Facebook page. So we hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. And before we formally start, for the attendance link, so to our audience, so it's available in the comment section and on your screen. Can we share the attendance link? Yes. Okay. So please fill out the form. So there will be two attendance link for today. So first the attendance link and then the evaluation link. Please take note that this will serve as your attendance for today's session. Okay. So, to formally start our session for today, may we invite Mr. Frederick Badillo, the Senior Vice President and VP for Finance, to give us the opening remarks. Sir Eric?
Thank you, Miss Joyce. A pleasant afternoon to everyone. Of course, to all our LPU officials and personnel joining us this afternoon, with special mention, of course, to our career development alumni and the placement office headed by Dr. Alex Ilagan, Dean Ray Refozar of the College of Business Administration, our speakers for today. So allow me to acknowledge all of them. Mr. Kim Chua, the Managing Director of Jobs 180, who is already our Suki speaker. Mr. Chua is always lending support ever since we started this online career congress. And also Mr. Al Dennis Supetran, the Talent Development Assistant Director of Ernst and Young Global Delivery Services, and Ms. Angelica Macatangay, Enterprise Services of Philippine Economic Zone Authority. By the way, Ms. Macatangay is our alumna. She used to be our student assistant and she graduated with honor and a former board top-notcher. And, uh, and also Ms. Jessica Manansala Galang, sourcing specialist of CX and of course other guests. Thank you so much to all of them for accepting our invitation and of course sharing your time and expertise. And of course, the main personalities in this event, and other than our current graduating students and alumni, it is my privilege and honor no, to welcome you all and deliver a message to everyone for our first virtual career congress for our current batch of graduating students under the CBA. Well, this is already the second year that we are doing this career congress by discipline, which we have proven more effective since the topic is concentrated and more focused on a certain program or field of specialization. We are so happy that we received positive feedback from the previous batch of graduating students, which means that they appreciated the current setup of our career congress since our invited speakers are not just talking in generic terms, but specific to a certain discipline or field of profession. And the topics discussed are related to your future profession. And on our part, it's imperative for us to evaluate the effectiveness of all our activities from time to time and inject certain improvement for the benefit of our beloved students and alumni. And of course, for today, we invited expert speakers who will give you ideas on how to prepare yourself when you apply for a job, such as I think preparing resume, how to project yourself during interview, and other things that you need to prepare and do. And this career congress is a prelude to our job fair, which will be held towards the end of this academic year, where we will be inviting several reputable companies where you can apply for a job. And of course, we are doing all these things as part of our commitment and services to our graduating students and alumni. And this is also our way of thanking you for trusting LPU for your college education. And to all our graduating students here, we wish you all the best in your remaining months here in LPU. And of course, we are hoping and expecting that all of you will graduate very soon and you will be part of our job fair towards the end of this academic year. So thank you very much and God bless everyone.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Eric, for gracing the event, and of course for allowing again and trusting Jobs 180 to power your events. We look forward to more collaborations and events po with LPU Batangas. Thank you, sir.
Yes, all the time.
All right. So, as usual, for our audience today, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. So, sa mga viewers natin, if you're there, please, kindly, tawag dito, heart react naman dyan. Ayan. So, kung wala pa yung inyong mga classmates, please tell them na bukod sa required, may attendance link. Ayan. So, sayang naman, marami kayong matututunan today since marami tayong in-invite na companies for today's session. Ayan. So, please don't forget to tag and share this to your friends. Also, the eval will be released at the end of the session. Ayan, and if there is, I think digital certificates, you may ask later the LPU setup. Ayan. So if you guys are ready, here's our schedule for today. So we have 3 topics for today's session. So we have first the online applications using resume link, which will be discussed by jobs180.com. Next, topic is interview tips by Ernst and Young, and ang last segment for today is industry expectations. So we have panel later. So we have 3 panelists from IQEQ Pro, PEZA Group, 4, and Genpact. And so again, shout out to everyone who is here. Now, again, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And as we go along, please type in your questions so we can read it later. Please huwag po kayong mahiya. This is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. Okay, so to our audience, kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. So for our first topic, which is online applications using resume link. Okay, so he has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So the managing director of jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No, not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mo mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have 1 file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay? More than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpleto ang detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo. Kayo lang may alam yan. At lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis ay makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes, if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating pa sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang tourism at pang HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa dalawang lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo din, dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma. Diba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga, hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan, ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede ka mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, yung mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda yung sample yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng mga kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Yung sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Di ba? O sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member ng Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamalan ko yung mga aplikante, panakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan, blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si eye expert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na papabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR na papabilis. Because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo atensyon, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Diba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design, diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin, wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tulipan natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo atensyon, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details yun na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position, and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Anong gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka ng padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Di ba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganon. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O, di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. with your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it, enter, save it, real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Hindi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me, here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Kim. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. So if you have questions regarding resume link, please post your questions in the comment section. Huwag po kayo mahiyang magtanong. This is your chance to ask. And as for the attendance link, since the previous one po isn't working, we'll be posting it on the comment section. Then I think the new link po. You have the new link na po right now. So we'll share it po on the comment section. Tapos we'll share it on screen na lang then later. Ayan. So if you have questions regarding resume link, regarding the topic na discuss ni Sir Kim, so please post your questions in the comment section. Feel free. Huwag po kayong mahiya. So while waiting for questions, I'll be asking question na po muna. Sir Kim?
Yes.
I hope you can hear me well, loud and
I
clear.
can hear you well. Oh, sa sobrang traffic. Malinaw ang signal.
Malinaw yung ano mo, background mo. Okay. So for first question po, for students asking if it's okay to use email address when you register, school email address when you register for the RL.
Yes, technically speaking, yung mga school issued email address ay these are valid emails. Now, when you register, kung nakagawa na kayo ng resume link using the school issued email address, then I recommend you might want to change it to your personal email. The reason is because later on, and I'm sure you will graduate sooner or later, when you graduate, you might not have access anymore to that email. So kung may pinapadala yung mga company sa inyo, mga notification for possible job opportunities, then you might not be getting them na pag hindi mo na-access yung school-issued email address nyo. So, dalawa lang naman yan. Kung hindi ka pa naka-register ng resume link, then I recommend, huwag mo na gamitin. Gamitin mo na yung personal email ninyo. Na kung ikaw naman ay nakagawa na ng resume link using the school-issued email address, then my recommendation is you just edit it na before you forget to do it later on. Okay?
And if na-forget nila, sir, yung kanilang school email address, ano po yung step na...
Kung nakalimutan ang ginamit yung email, regardless if it's a school email address or your personal email address ang ginamit ninyo, you just have to go to jobs180.com and then you put your email there, tapos click mo forgot password. The new password will be sent immediately dun sa email na ginamit ninyo yung naka-register. Yan. Okay. Now, if ever nakalimutan mo yung email, yun ang problema. Pag nakalimutan mo yung email, you need to send an email to info, that's info, info@jobs180.com at magpakilala kayo kasi hindi kami basta-basta mag-reset ng password ninyo. We need to know And we need to be able to, you need to be able to show proof first na ikaw talaga yung person na may owner ng email na yon. And so we can check it on our end from our customer support team. Yan, before we even proceed to, okay? Ayan.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Kim. So as much as we want to ask Sir Kim pa no ng questions, ayan, so pwede naman natin gawin later. Ipunin niyo po yung inyong mga questions and we'll try to ask
Pwede
Sir
naman.
Kim later. Yung mas
Sige.
important. Ayan, so yan, ang safety ni Sir Kim. Ayan, so before you go backstage, Sir Kim, so LPU prepared a certificate po of appreciation. So let me just read. So the certificate of appreciation is given to Mr. Kim Chua for his invaluable contribution as guest speaker in the first year Congress of AY 2022-2023 of Career Development Alumni and Placement, or SIDAP office of Lyceum of the Philippines University Batangas, held via virtual platform, given this 9th day of December 2022, signed by Dr. Alex D. Ilagan, Director of Career Development Alumni and Placement, Dr. Cecilia C. Ping, Vice President for Academics and Research, and Mr. Frederick C. Badillo, Senior Vice President for Finance. So thank you so much, Sir Kim.
Thank you
Thank you
rin.
po.
Maraming salamat. Be safe, everyone.
Yes, sir. All right. So don't worry guys, if you still have questions regarding resume link, you can still po send us a PM or pwedeng post nyo sa comment section and we'll try to answer your questions. Ayan. So let's move on to our next topic, which is tips to ace the job interview. So for our next presenter, so, Sir Dennis brings with him over 18 years of experience in supporting the learning and development needs of organizations across levels. Prior to joining EY, he worked with GP Strategies as the leadership and management training manager for East Asia. He has also worked with HSBC Global Service Centers, partnering with various senior leaders in 7 countries to drive leadership development. So, Sir Dennis has a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology from Ateneo de Manila University, and he is also a certified facilitator for situational leadership 2 program from the Ken Blanchard companies, as well as the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or the MBTI program from CPP. He is also a certified instructor for CHACOM, Social Style and Versatility, and in his spare time, Sir Dennis enjoys playing tabletop games such as Dungeons and Dragons and board games with friends and spending time with his 2 kids. So, so Mr. Alden Supetran, the Talent Development Assistant Director of Ernst & Young Global Delivery Services. Hi, Sir Dennis. Good
Hello,
afternoon
hello,
po.
Joyce. Good afternoon. Hope everyone is having a good December so far.
Malapit na, sir. So excited na sila sa Christmas break. Ayan. So, sir, your screen is up. So if you're ready, I'll leave it po. I'll be back after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Joyce. And thank you so much for LPU as well for inviting Ernst and Young. I believe this is the second time that we've been invited over to LPU. So I hope that I'll be able to provide, additional information for all of you graduating students as well as near graduating students. So when we're talking about, acing the job interviews, there's actually a lot, right? There's so much information out there already. And here in EY GDS Philippines and EY in particular, we want to ensure that we give you very good and very applicable tips on how to ace the job interview. And just to give an idea of what EY is, especially for those that may not be familiar, right? EY is one of the biggest accounting and professional services firms in the world. We have over 360,000 employees to date. And so far, again, from a global perspective, it's been, renowned, like what you can see on the screen. EY has been named as LinkedIn top companies for the year 2022. We've also consistently ranked as one of the top 10 in employer ratings for the last 10 years. And we have, again, been in the top 25 of the world's best workplaces. GDS Philippines in particular, we've been very, very fortunate enough that from an HR perspective, we recently won the Asian Leadership Award in 2021 as a dream company to work for in the Philippines. And so when we take a look at EY, we have four main service types. So this is where a lot of people usually get to know and get to understand what are the services that EY provides. So we provide services in assurance, which is audit, right? We provide services in consulting, and this is very, very varied. Providing consulting services from petrochemical companies, aerospace industries, government, and even to private companies as well. We also have a newly formed service line, which is strategy and transactions, which aims to help firms and global companies better leverage their global reach and also to develop new partnerships. And of course, we do have our tax service, and this is just really a very very small small view of what EY provides. That's why regardless of what your background is, whether you're coming from marketing, whether you're coming from an engineering background, or you're coming from the traditional accounting and professional services and management services that are usually associated with EY, we hope to see you and we hope that you also explore some of the job opportunities that are available to us. Now, in GDS, and this is the Global Delivery Services Framework, the Philippines stands as the second largest site to date, the largest of which is really all of the service centers that we have that are based in India. And so this really puts Philippines in a very unique perspective and in a unique place in that we continue to grow. Just within the past 2 years, where a lot of companies really had challenges in terms of growth, in terms of maintaining headcount, and even just really ensuring that everyone within the company is taken care of, EYGDS Philippines has grown exponentially from 3,500, thereabouts employees before the start of the pandemic. We've actually grown throughout the past 2 years to almost 6,000 now to date. And that's why we hope that you explore your opportunities with us. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whether you interview with EY, whether you interview with any of the other companies that you'll be hearing from today, and whether you put up your what is it that you put into your resume link, right? What's going to be important, and this is a very good tip that I have with all of the interviews that I've conducted, that I've been in personally throughout the years as I move from one career to another. One of the things that best helps me is this one. So, is your mindset more important than your skill set? Oftentimes, when people think about interviews, right, we usually think, okay, I have to have the skills, I have to have the experience. But more and more, and this is again accelerated through the pandemic period, wherein companies really had to be creative and really again just take away or move away from that mindset of, okay, we need to be only recruiting graduates from this particular course, or we need to be recruiting from this particular avenue or even school for that matter, right? The pandemic showed us that a lot of companies, EY included, really had to expand our borders. Whereas, prior to the pandemic, we were mainly recruiting out from the Metro Manila and the nearby areas. We've now actually expanded and are recruiting people all the way down south, as far as Zamboanga, and as far up north as Ilocos region. And that's why our partnership with Jobs 180, especially with their, uh, countrywide reach and partnership with a lot of the universities, that is something that we truly value and we hope to continue to nurture moving forward. So this, the bottom line of this, question is really, you may not have the skill set, you may not have the work related experience at this point, and that's the reason why mindset can actually take you farther in your career, because a lot of things, and even for tenured employees at this point in time, some of the things that they've learned previously in their previous companies and their previous experience, after some time, even those skill sets can get outdated. Those experiences can be invalidated or not, you know, or not have too much of an impact with the new work that is being asked of them. And so when you're learning new things, when you're, going out of your comfort zone, that mindset is going to be even more important. So for this question, I can, definitely confirm that mindset is really indeed more important than your skill set. And that's very important because when you go into interviews, a lot of you might be, confused, might be a little bit hesitant, might even be a little bit scared, and that's particularly, and that's okay. That is normal. But what's going to be important is as you go into the interview, maybe even in preparation of that, right? Even as you go into the interview, is the mindset that you set for yourself, right? Because if you're thinking, okay, I have to prove myself, I have to make sure that I put my best foot forward, right? Then it becomes a very difficult situation to maintain, right? You're always trying to think, okay, am I impressing them enough? But here, this is where I think my sharing with you, especially this is materials that is also based off of the actual materials that we train a lot of our hiring managers and our recruiters within EY. So when you look at most companies today, EY included, we use what is called competency-based behavioral interviewing, right? So we'll get more into that in a little bit. So when we talk about the tips that I wanted to share, and we'll go back into the competency based behavioral interviewing, I just wanted to share three very quick tips. So, first off, is knowing your purpose. What is it that you want for yourself? And again, this could be short term. What is it that you want for the next 1 year, 2 years, right? Or even maybe long term, right? So, knowing your purpose. Second is evaluating your current skill set. And this is where you need to be creative. You need to look not just as, oh, this is what is, work related. I did part-time work, or I volunteered for this school activity, right? Or this outreach program. When we talk about skill sets that are important to companies, EY included, there's actually a lot more that you've been picking up even in the smallest of your interactions. And we'll get to that in a bit. Okay, so hold on. Now, what's the third one? Look for companies that have a strong and deeply rooted value. Right? Now, why is that? Because oftentimes, and this is as true as it was in the pandemic, as it is today, as we're hopefully again exiting the pandemic. So again, we still have some cases ongoing, but thankfully, because of our widespread vaccination program, we're seeing less and less of those severe cases, right? So when you look at the companies that you're applying to, what are their value set? What is it that they value? What is it that they are looking for in terms of their future employees? Because when you talk about preparing, and oftentimes the type of questions that they will ask you during the interview, it will be based off of those values as well. So those are my three tips, right? Again, you can go onto YouTube, you can go onto Facebook, you can go onto LinkedIn, and all of these other online platforms, and you'll get a million other additional, tips, which are again very, very useful. But for me, this is, if there's anything that I'd like each and every one of you to take out of this, talk, it's these three, right? So when you're going into your interview, are you clear about your purpose? Are you clear about what are some of the skill set that are going to be relevant for this particular company? Because again, some companies might be looking for other things while other companies look for other things as well. And most of these things that they look for are usually based off of their value statement. So we'll get to that. So going back, and this is something that some of you might be hearing for the first time, competency-based behavioral interview. So what is it? So in a nutshell, right? When we talk about behavioral interviewing, comparing it to other types of interviews, this is by far the most popular type of interview method used today. Right? Now, the reason why it's so popular is because of this. It's based on the principle that the past behavior, okay, is the best indicator for future performance. So when we talk about past behavior, what is it your interviews will be looking for when they talk to you, when they ask you all of these questions, right? They'll be looking at what are your habits. Diba? Ano ba yung nakasanayan mo? Ano ba yung madalas na ginagawa mo? Whether you're conscious about it or unconsciously doing these habits, right? Same thing. Some of you might have habits already. And for most of you, right, previous 2 years, you may have had the habit of like, okay, I have a class at 9 a.m. Okay lang, since it's on 9, I'll just wake up like mga around 10 minutes or even 5 minutes before my class. Hilamos lang ng konti and then get on the call, right? But now, some of you have had to change your habits simply because, for example, some of your classes, and let me know through the comments as well if you've already begun. Some of you may already have had or started. Some of you may have already started on-site classes, right? So for that, again, with the traffic, with the travel time that you need to go from your home all the way to school, you needed to change your habits, right? But again, habits are not easy to change. Eh? That's the reason why behavioral interviewing is still very popular, because a very experienced interviewer can ask those follow-up questions, really determine, is this person really telling the truth? Are they really, is that really their habit? As soon as they're able to establish that, then they can make, they can make a call whether or not are you going to be a good job fit and are you going to be a good culture fit. Right now, when we talk about behavioral interviewing, okay, and this has been proven by a lot of studies, right? And Catherine Hansen is one management practitioner as well that has conducted these studies. So behavioral interviewing compared to traditional interviewing is said to be 55% more predictive of future on the job behavior. So that's the reason why this type of interview style is very, very consistent. And to give everyone a good idea of what is it that your interviewers will be asking for. And again, I won't be sharing specific questions because the questions, as I mentioned, can change from company to company depending on the values and depending on the behaviors that they're looking for, right? But regardless of what they're looking for, they usually look for three things. So what are those three things? So first off, this is based off of your experience, and I think this is a very good way to just relax or to steady yourself. Eh, di ba? Oftentimes when you're doing interviews, kinakabahan ka, you're a bit anxious, papasa ba ako, am I gonna get the job? So again, that no one can really tell, diba? If you're gonna get the job. I've gone through a lot of interviews where I thought I did well, but I still didn't get the job. And for a time, that really hit me very hard, diba? Parang, oh, bakit ganon, diba? I did very well naman. We talked for like more than an hour, right? And after a while, I realized that was the wrong mindset to adopt. Diba? So, what was the mindset that I adopted, especially in the context of behavioral interviewing? Because the interviewers are really trying to find out about me, about my habits, then it puts less pressure. So, let me repeat. Because interviewers, especially the ones that are using competency based or values based behavioral interviewing, they're looking at what are your habits. Ano ba yung nakasanayan mo? Ano yung naging experience mo? And because you're talking about yourself, you don't have to invent anything. You don't have to think, okay, I have to know yung engineering, schematic from one all the way to like step 100 or whatever it is, right? But because you're just talking about yourself, then it makes it a conversation. Parang nagkukwento ka lang tungkol sa sarili mo. But here is where the tip will go into later, right? The experiences, what you tell about yourself, you also have to prepare beforehand. Diba? Not prepare like a fictional and make something up. Because again, as I mentioned, some of the experienced interviewers can find that out. So what are the three aspects of behavioral interviewing? So first off is they're going to ask about the situation. So can you give me a situation? Can you give me an example? Let's say this is a sample question. Can you give me an example of wherein you were doing a project and there was conflict within the team? How did you manage it? Right? So that's an example. So they'll ask. So they'll be looking for you to give the situation. What happened? When was this? Sino ba yung mga kasama nun? Those are the details that you want to put into situation. Second is behavior. And this is very important because this is behavior-based interviewing. You have to talk about your behavior. In that situation, like the example I gave earlier, diba? Give an example or give a scenario or situation or a time when I was doing a project and there was conflict. What did I do about it? The behavior I'm going to say there should be the behavior I show. Ano yung actually ginawa mo? oftentimes, and this is a mistake, a lot of people going through interviews say is, oh, ito yung ginawa namin. Ito yung naging resulta ng grupo na yun. So again, when you put things like the behavior, other behaviors, other people, what they did, diba? Not what you did, oftentimes that's a negative already for interviewers. Right? Or you might find them asking again and again, what did you do? How about you? Ano yung ginawa mo? Ano yung sinabi mo? Right? Because that is an essential piece that people look for. What's the third one? What was the result? So it's this behavior and result. So first we get the situation. Second is what is it that you actually did? And then the third one is the result. The behavior and the result, that's where interviewers are able to assess if you were able to do this and you were successful, can you be also successful in their company? So yun yung important thing to remember. So when you're creating examples, diba? And we'll get into that in a little bit, right? Make sure that you have these three pieces of details. What's the situation? Details about the situation. When did it happen? Who was involved? What were you doing? Right? Second, behavior. What is the things that you did, said in that situation? And that's very particular. What others did and what others, said is less important. Always try to make sure, put in and remember and share to your interviewer. Then, of course, what was the result? Was it a positive result or a negative result? And even there, when you give out a negative result, let's say we failed that project, you can make it up by talking about what was your behavior afterwards. What did you do about the learning? And that says a lot about your character and your potential to interviewers, right? So that's the behavioral interviewer. So going back into the three tips now. So first off, let's look at your purpose. So again, purpose can be something short term. Diba? To use the terms in the Nescafe commercial, para saan or para kanino ka ba gumigising? That is what interviewers would want to know. Why? Because they want to see what is it that you're aiming for personally. Is that something that the company will be able to help you out with? And if so, that is one way for them to find out, are you going to stay? Are you going to be contributing to them? Right? What do you enjoy doing? What are you curious about? These are common questions. And again, like what I mentioned, use the behavioral interviewing format. So you give them a situation. Well, there was a time, last year, I usually, think about what happened in the past year and what I want to accomplish this year. So now that 2022 is ending, I want to do that same thing again. And I've started, and here are the things that I, realized and what I want to put as goals for myself for 2023. That is very, very important, right? Now, other questions that you can ask, and these are some things that a lot of companies, even EY included, have begun to ask, like, how can you learn in more time? How can you learn more in less time? Right? So that gives us an idea of how willing are you to put in your own personal time, your own personal energy to make sure that you learn new things. Diba? Oftentimes, people think, oh, basta't nasa company na ako, everything dapat within company time. But that is not always the case. One of the things that we always say to our people, you have a lot of learning resources, diba? Because all of the EY employees, in particular for EY GDS, all of our EY employees are provided laptops. So they can work either in the office or work remotely. Okay? Now, because they have their laptops with them, they are able to access all of the learning resources at any time. So even though they have like an 8-hour workday or 9-hour workday with breaks, right? What do they do for the rest of the time? It's really up to them. And that is something that's very, very important for companies to find out. Right? So what's the second one? Evaluate your skill set. So most of us are familiar with, again, work-related. O dapat nakapag-work ka na for so and so years. Dapat nagamit mo na itong particular system na yun. Now, here's the thing. When you look at skill set, oftentimes those skill sets fall under two categories. Non-transferable skills, and these are skills that are specific to a company, specific to let's say, for example, the type of system, di ba? Ano yung time in, time out na gamit nila? Is it yung Bondi clock ba? Or something else, right? Is it, the type of platform? Is it web-based? Is it, browser web-based? Is it a specific software that's installed in one PC only, etc.? Those are skills that when you leave the company, you won't be able to bring it now with you. You won't be able to use it in any other company, right? So that's non-transferable skills. The transferable skills, and these are the things that's what's important, right? These are things that you can learn in any context. What's an example? Project management. Right? So, for example, those students that are helping out with what do you call this, with the placement office, with your student orgs, diba? Especially if you've also helped with organizing and getting people to be interested and be aware of this particular event today. That involves, or that is an opportunity already for you to pick up very important project management skills. Ba? O, what's the project plan? Kailan ba gagawin? O, December 9, yung event with Jobs 180. O, then you work yourself backward. O, dapat by this date, alam na ng mga tao, nakapag-broadcast pa tayo, etc. Right? So those are some project management skills. Community building. Again, with the pandemic and even with, Batangas, right? We've had several storms that have hit very strongly in the past. Did you help in any community outreach programs, whether it's bringing in donations? That's an example of community building and networking skills. And even the most simplest ones, right? For example, it's December, Christmas season. A lot of you might have your families and extended families, diba, coming home to Batangas for the holidays. So baka ikaw yung nakatoka, you're the one who's aside, o eto yon, we have this place, yung house, o sino yung matutulog sa ganitong room, etc. Right? So, pag nag-away, o dumating na si Tito ganito, and then ayaw niya yung room niya, o pwede bang makipaglipat siya dun sa kabilang room, right? And then you manage the discussion between the two of your titos. That's conflict resolution. So even in the most simplest or non-work related situations, you're actually picking up valuable skills. But it's important for you to identify what those skills are and how to position it, right? So, for example, when you go now into your interview, tinanong ka, oh, do you have any project management skills? And then you can say very confidently, oh, I actually arranged yung homecoming for our clan. And our clan is maybe 30 people. And I was the lead for that. So 30 people, two houses, we only have like 10 rooms in those two houses and you need to fit 30 people. So what did I do? So we looked at, who confirmed, diba? Who is going. I assigned several people to take care of the cooking. I assigned people that as they're coming over from Manila, they would be bringing in for ingredients. Diba? So that way, when they arrive, yun na rin yung lulutuin. Right? So again, that's the situation. You show the behavior, and then what is the result? So maybe you said, oh, because some of our uncles were flying back home to the US, we had our reunion early. Diba? We had it last week. So we were able to fit in all 30 people in two houses in just 10 rooms because I was able to manage it. And that is a very, very strong example. And that is something that the interviewers will definitely take note of. Right? Now, let's go to number 3. And this is the last piece that we have for today. Right? So number 3 is look for companies that have deeply rooted values. Because again, companies like EY will make decisions based off of those values. In addition, and this is the third tip there that you can see, you can prepare the list of experiences that mirror those values. So what's an example? EY, for example, right? These are the values. We value people who demonstrate integrity, respect, and teaming, and act inclusively, meaning hindi sila yung exclusive, diba? They welcome others. They bring others in, diba? We value people with energy, who demonstrate energy, enthusiasm, and the courage to lead. So hindi nila inaantay na i-assign sila ng role, i-assign sila na leader. Kung may nakikita silang kailangang pagsabihan, pag-usapan, they step up. Right? And then what's the last one? We value people who build relationships based on doing the right thing. And doing the right thing, very in line with integrity, is doing the right thing even when no one is looking. So when you look at there, and let's say, for example, you're going to apply for EY, that gives you an idea of what are the type of questions that we will be asking. Like, for example, integrity. Can you tell me a time that you were faced with something very, very easy? Diba? And you had the choice of doing the right thing or doing the difficult thing. What's an example? Or maybe you can share. We had online exams, and because of the pandemic, all of the exams are online. And again, we had our cameras on, but I could just have easily put my, phone, tablet, or whatever within, within eyesight. Diba? I don't have to look too far away, but I could use that as a cheat code. But I decided not to. And the result for it was, because I had to study, diligently, I still passed with a high grade. So that's an example of using those three things: the situation, what did you do, and what was the result, to give a very strong example that can impress your interviewers. Right? And that's why, even for EY, during the time, during the pandemic, and even as we move forward now, we give a lot of opportunities and learning opportunities for our team members. And this is very important as well, because um, what people can learn in an organization is something that you can highlight. And that's why doing research about the companies that you apply for is also very, very important. So, for example, we have a lot of online programs that are available to staff, like what I mentioned, 24/7. The only thing that's going to, be dependent on them is really how much of their own personal time and effort are they putting in. They also have an ability and opportunity to learn things that are not necessarily business related, but maybe something that's very interesting for them. So they can take up a lot of courses, whether it's technology related, leadership related. If, let's say, for example, somebody would like to focus on and develop themselves in terms of leadership capabilities, meaning they want to become a manager, senior manager, director, etc. Right? We also have business tracks, and all of these can help people. And this is anyone in the organization, not just people that have been in the firm for like 10 years or more, but even new hires. So as soon as you join EY, you can actually potentially pursue a master's degree, and this is a full-fledged master's degree that we've had with Halt International Business School. And currently we have three master programs. The first program that anyone, let's say for example, you join EY, and we had a batch actually just start this Monday, right? If there was one person in that batch wanted a master's degree in technology, so this is full-fledged master's degree in business administration, that first master's degree is free, meaning all of the associated costs for the courseware, for the certification, for the reviews are being borne by EY. And that's for all of our employees. And we have other master's programs like the master's in business analytics and master's in sustainability. So that it gives you the idea of what EY is all about and how in line with our values is a lot of our programs. And that's why we hope to invite all of you for some of these openings that we have. So for example, we have openings for IT consultant, and here is the testimonial of one of our IT consultants, and this is for our consulting practice. We also have openings for accountancy graduates, specifically for our audit practice, right? And we also have current openings for our accounting associates. So please feel free to reach out. And if there are some additional, and again, we are posting new positions all the time, please do visit the Jobs 180 site, jobs180.com/EYGDS. You can also check out our career site to learn more about what EYGDS is doing, right, in the Philippines. And of course, for those that are not yet about to graduate, but maybe you're about to embark on the internship program with LPU Batangas, please do go ahead and submit applications or reach out or visit our applications page for EYGDS. So thank you so much. And I wish everyone the best of luck in your interviews in the future. So Joyce, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sir Dennis. So, to our audience, so LPU Batangas, the floor is now open for questions. So, if you have questions regarding the topic, ayan, since ayan, magagamit niyo talaga and malapit na graduation the next time, ayan. So, feel free to post your questions in the comment section and we'll try to read all your questions. So, please huwag po kayong mahiya. You don't have to send us a private message. It's easier po for us to see yung inyong questions on the comment section mismo ni Facebook, Jobs180 Facebook and YouTube page. So we're not sure po if you're also posting questions sa Facebook page ni LPU, but let us know, Miss Ellie, if my questions po from LPU. So while waiting for questions po from the audience for Dennis, so I've prepared po some and offline questions. So first is for you, Sir Dennis, what do you think is the most crucial part of job interviews? As per the fresh graduates.
All right. And I think it's really being clear about what message, diba? Like what I mentioned before, if they're clear about what is it that they want, diba? Mas madali lang mako-connect dun sa interview, diba? Lalo na if they've done their research about their company, they can easily say and confidently say, oh, kaya gusto ko sa company nyo kasi ito yun. May mga, like for example, if you use the presentation, o kasi si Dennis, when they presented sa LPU Batangas noon, sinabi nila, I could take up a master's degree. So again, that gives the interviewer an idea of what is it that you are really wanting and yung passion mo, di ba? Kasi very important yun eh. If they hear that you're passionate about something, then they can say, oh, kung ganyan ka passionate about yung sa gusto mo, hopefully when we invite you in, you can be just as passionate dun sa trabaho mo. So yun yung tinitingnan nila, right? Second, yung mga skills, 'di ba? If you're able to connect, 'di ba, kahit yung mga ginagawa niyo sa bahay, sa mga families ninyo, and you can connect it na, oh, eto nagawa ko sa family ko. When you invite me into the company, kayang-kaya ko na rin gawin 'yan. Kasi ang pinagkaiba lang naman is yung scale, is yung mga tao, 'di ba? When you're working, maybe that, reunion is a much bigger event. Maybe instead of doing it for 30, like the example I gave, maybe you're doing it for 100, 200. Or in our case, diba, doing it for 5,000 employees.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Dennis. Tinignan ko yung collection sa likod ni Sir Dennis. Kapag
Yes,
Pokemon. Ayan. So, thank you, sir. So, may question po tayo from Sir Cedric from LPU. And Sir Cedric, what are the common red flag answers that are usually committed by a job applicant and how do we avoid these responses? Thank you po.
All right. So, because behavior-based interview questions are the most common, when you start talking about, ay, ito yung ginawa namin. Ito yung nangyari sa grupo namin. Diba? When you start talking about others, not just about yourself, that is usually a red flag. That's why I said, diba, either one, biglang magsa-stop na lang yung interviewer nyo and then move on to the next question. So, X na yon. Or they'll ask more questions. Ikaw, ano yung ginawa mo doon? Ano yung sinabi mo doon? Right? So that's a red flag that you can find out. That's why I said, diba, if you put yourself in the mindset na, oh, since ang pinag-uusapan mo naman, ang sinasabi mo lang naman is ano yung nangyari na sa'yo, then hindi mo na kailangan mag-invento. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-isip, ay, ano yung best answer dito? Kasi you're just talking about ano na yung pinagdaanan mo, ano na yung ginawa mo.
And I believe po nalalaman ng interviewer if ang aplikante ay nag-iimbento ng sagot. Tama po ba?
Exactly. So I see there's a next question there from
Yes.
Gwyneth.
So,
Trick
another
question.
question po from Ms. Gwyneth is, good afternoon, sir. May I ask po, how should we answer the three questions such as, what are your weaknesses? Tell me about the time you made a mistake. So, bale, two questions. Sir.
Ayan. So again, same thing, 'di ba? Yung three components na 'yon. Situation, behavior, and ano yung naging result eh. Kaya ngayon yung maganda eh. Okay lang na pag-usapan yung weaknesses eh. Kunwari ako, between my physical and mental health, my physical health has always been a challenge for me, 'di ba? Kasi there was a time I used to say even sa mga relatives ko, I am in shape, 'di ba? Round is a shape. 'Di ba? So kahit sabihin nila ang bilog-bilog mo na, 'di ba? Kailangan mo nang mag-lose weight, right? So again, situation. So the situation I would say is, for example, if I use that as an example, situation is I have been gaining weight the past few years, definitely far off than my target weight. So what was the behavior that I did? So what I did when my wife, and she is a lover of online everything and anything online shopping. So one of her best purchases in the pandemic was a treadmill. So when I set up the treadmill, I thought of how can I combine it, 'di ba, na hindi ko masyadong gusto physical exercise and something that I love. And that's why I put it in our sala where I have my 5.1 surround sound system. So imagine when I'm, treadmilling, when you watch, and those of you that are Korean novella or even TV series fans, right? One episode is what, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, sometimes 1 hour. So that 1 hour, I'm doing something I like, which is watching something, but at the same time, I'm combining it with something that I need to do, which is physical. So what's the result? For the past, 3 months, I've lost actually total of 13 kilos. Diba? So again, that's how you can answer those things. Eh? Make sure that you put in the situation, what was the behavior, and what was the impact. And yung impact, dun yung pwedeng ipasok. Ano yung natutunan nyo? Or ano yung plano nyong gawin? Dahil alam nyo may weakness kayo. Or alam nyo nagkamali kayo dun sa isang situation na yun. So talking about mistakes is definitely not a no-no in interviews. It's what you follow up on. And that's the results piece.
All right. Thank you, sir. So another question po from Miss Jody Galak. So, can you share tips on how to deal with off-the-call questions during the interview?
Ayan. So off the wall interview questions, ba? Like for example, one thing that I actually experienced during my interview way back, right? Uh, can you tell me or let's say for example, can you sell me this pen? Yan, 'di ba? Yan yung mga uso nun eh. The one question I got asked that was like off the wall was, okay, can you tell me why is it that the early bird gets the worm, but it's the second mouse that gets the cheese? Diba? So may mga kasabihan na, diba? The early bird gets the worm, but then there's also saying it's the second mouse that gets the cheese. So those questions, if you think carefully through it, they're actually probing you for something. Eh. That's why, diba? Beforehand, if you did your research, if alam mo kung ano yung mga values, and usually you can see it in most company websites, diba? Ito yung purpose statement, diba? Like EY, we are building a better working world. And based off of that, ito yung mga things that we value. A lot of these details are available beforehand. Eh. So you can prepare for it and answer it in that light. Eh. Oh, so for example, why second mouse gets the cheese? The short answer for that is because yung first mouse, nahuli na siya dun sa mouse trap. Naipit na pala siya. Right? So again, those things can be answered by using that, situation, behavior, and impact. Diba? All right?
All right, thank you, sir. So one last question po. From Sir Cedric again. So another question po is if it's appropriate to raise a counter offer sa discussion of salary during a job interview. Some professionals say that it is all right, while others say it is not appropriate to do so. So thank you po.
Mm-hmm.
Totoo nga naman, may mga speakers tayo nagsabi na okay makipag and counter offer, merong iba hindi.
I think for me personally, I've always talked about negotiating or counter offer when there's an actual offer on the table, and I think that's very important, diba? Kung inoferan ka na and you reviewed the offer, if you feel may kulang don or inappropriate, that's where you can bring it up. But if let's say first interview ka pa lang, second interview, diba? That's why usually what I would give as a tip is at the start of the interview, like yung pinakaunang interview nyo, ask already the recruiter or whoever it is that you're talking to, how many interviews am I expecting before there's a decision, before there's an offer? Because that gives you an idea saan ka mag-negotiate eh. Kasi some people make the mistake of first one pa lang, can I know what the salary is being offered? Right? So yun, depending on which recruiter you are, maybe a red flag, diba? But if you ask instead, oh, this is the first interview, can I find out how many interviews? And then they say, oh, there's 2 more, diba? So total of 3. That gives you an idea, oh, I should ask about compensation or benefits, probably either second interview or yung last interview, diba? And again, that's why it's always good there because last thing that a company and even you want is you accept and then you find out or saka ka lang magsasabi, ay, actually medyo kulang to eh. Diba? And then it ends up in a situation wherein you just, leave the company and potentially can have like, a negative record, lalo na if you left in a hurry lang, right?
All right. Thank you, sir, for answering that question. So, I think no more questions po from the audience. So, thank you, LPU. And before you go backstage, sir, may certificates LPU. So, let me read. The certificate of appreciation is given to Mr. Al Dennis Supetran. So, for his invaluable contribution as guest speaker in the first Career Congress of AY 2022-2023 of Career Development Alumni and Placement, SIDAP Office of Lyceum of the Philippines University, Batangas, held via virtual platform given this 9th day of December 2022, signed by Dr. Alex D. Ilaga, Director, Career of Development, Alumni and Placement, Dr. Celia C. Wing, Vice President for Academics and Research, Mr. Frederick C. Badillo, Senior Vice President and VP for Finance. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sir
you. Thank you
Dennis,
so
for
much, Joyce,
sharing.
to Jobs 180, and of course to LPU Batangas. We hope to see a lot of your interns and also your graduates in the future.
Thank you as well, sir. Thank you for sharing your time and your expertise. So we wish to have you on our next set of webinars. Thank you so much, Sir Dennis. And guys, again, if you're interested to join EYGDS, you may submit your resume link at www.jobs180.com/EYGDS. Yan, nag-run sa ilalim ng inyong screen. Ayan, so you can directly send your resume link to that link po. So slash that EYGDS. So another announcement, reminder from Miss Ellie of LPU Batangas. So please, those students who have successfully submitted their evaluation link po will be given the certificate. So sila lang kung sino yung nag fill out ng evaluation later. So we will be releasing the eval link later at the end of this session. So you may drop by at CDAP office at SHL 107 to get your certificate. So ayan, munting paalala. Thank you. So now moving on to our last segment, our last part of our session, which is panel industry expectations po, no? So industry expectations, topic industry expectations. So for this portion, we invited panelists po where we discuss industry expectations in the fields of CBA, business administration, accountancy, customs, HR, marketing, and finance. All right. So we have 4 panelists for um, this segment. So first we have Miss Joane Kaith Rusel, the talent sourcer of IQEQ. So a recruitment specialist with more than 8 years experience in finance and technology, working in both volume and specialized roles and a background in hotel and restaurant management. Next, we have Miss Angelica Olarte Macatangay, the Enterprise Services Officer 3 from PEZA. So Miss Angelica Olarte Macatangay is a public servant and a licensed customs broker by profession. She is currently connected with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority head office as an Enterprise Service Officer 3. Last March 2022, Miss Angelica was awarded as PEZA's most outstanding employee as part of the agency's celebration of its 27th anniversary. And she is currently a second-year law student taking up Juris Doctor degree at the Philippine Law School. She graduated Bachelor of Science in Customs Administration in 2017 from the Lyceum of the Philippines University, Batangas, and was awarded top 1 most outstanding student. She represented also the university in various international conferences abroad in relation to customs management. In the same year, she became part of the 10 outstanding student of the Philippines Calabar Zone as regional finalist, where she was elected as resource mobilization committee chair from 2019 to 2021, and also she ranked 3rd out of the 2093 examinees during the 2017 Customs Broker Licensure Exam, held on 22-23 of November of 2017. She is also an active part of Hukbong Panghimpapawid ng Pilipinas, or Philippine Air Force One, and First Wing Reserve as a reservist, and concurrent with her role as an ESO3 in PEZA, she is the elected director of grievance of the PEZA's Employees Association and a member of the PEZA Human Resource Promotion and Selection Board. So Ms. Angelica is a dreamer and pursuer. Our third panelist is Miss Jessica Manansala Galang, the sourcing specialist of Probe. So she is an been in the ESL industry, has been her bread and butter for the past years. She worked for a Korean school in a classroom setup for a year and 6 years in Japanese online school as a tutor and a team leader. So she is now working as a sourcing specialist in one of the leading BPO companies in the Philippines. And our last panelist is Miss Charlota Velasco, Equipment Operations from Genpact. So she's been with the company for more than 7 years now, handled different channels like social media, online, and non-employee referral. She was an intern student before, but because of her hard work, she was absorbed by the company and promoted as a management trainee. Ayan. So we'd like to welcome the panel. Ayan. Can we have them on stage? So yeah, hi everyone. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon, Miss Jessica, Miss Charlotte, Miss
Good,
Kaith,
af-
and Miss Angelica.
good
Hi,
afternoon.
good afternoon.
Ayan. So, girl power po ito, no? Puro babae po ang ating panelists for today. Ayan. So, good afternoon po. So, what's gonna happen here po is that parang fast talk lang. So, you don't have to present anything. We have prepared a couple of questions addressed to each one of you. And of course, also the viewers are also allowed to ask questions po. So, to our viewers, ayan. So, just post it on the comment section and we'll line it up po. Especially it's better kung magagaling sa inyo yung question since industry expectations ito, no, kung ano yung mga expectations nyo pagdating ayan after you graduate, ayan, since yung mga invited speakers natin ay talaga namang related sa course na meron kayo today. So ayan, kanina marami tayong questions. We'll try to check yung inyong mga questions. So wag po kayong mahiya. Please post your questions in the comment section. So while waiting for questions, these are the questions po now we've prepared. So if you're ready po, ayan, Miss Jessica, Miss Charlotte, Miss Kaith, and Miss Angelica, you can unmute your mic once it's your turn po to answer the question. So first question is for IQEQ. Ayan, so Miss Kaith, ayan, so the first question is, what advice can you give to someone who has no experience, someone na confused pa or in the middle of self-assessment pa?
Um, the best advice that I could give if you're still confused in finding your path, in finding a job is first, um, be out there, promote yourself, and when the opportunity knocks sa inyo, then that's when you check it out. And then you test the waters if it's for you, and that is one way of finding out what would be the best fit for you in terms of finding a job or something that you would like to pursue, even if it's also a new hobby. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Kay. So for the next question po is for Probe. So in relation po to question number one po. In the middle of assessing oneself and finding what's best for you, how do you deal with the anxiety and what ifs question po? And so with your own personal experience, what are the things you do to lessen these types of thoughts or scenario?
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Joyce, for the question. Based on my experience, I've been to different scenario na din when it comes to new moments or new experience. But for me, what I do is that first I want to enjoy. Okay, so I put myself in that the future kung ano ba yung mangyayari sa akin. So, will I be enjoying it or not? But at least, if I didn't enjoy it, then that's the learning, right? So, if I did enjoy, then life must go on. But if not, there are other areas naman that we can try. Right. So I think that's for me. First, just enjoy the moment that you're on that spotlight, and just like Miss Kate said earlier, test the water first. Yeah, I really agree with you with that, Miss Kate. Yeah, that's for me, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Especially now po na mas exposed ang mga bata with different platform, social media platform, and I think mas vulnerable sila pagdating sa mga ganyang bagay. No? So thank you, ma'am, for answering that one. So another question po is for Ayan, nawala ako. For PEZA, ayan, so for PEZA, Miss Angelica,
Hi.
so the question is, as a recruiter, what's the type of personality you see in an applicant that you think na this someone will grow or will become someone in the industry?
So thank you. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for inviting me to have this opportunity to share the industry expectations regarding the business administration industry. So with regard to your question, Miss Joyce, so personally, I'm a member of the PEZA Human Resource Promotion and Selection Board. In fact, I am, with great humility, I am the youngest member of the board of the PEZA Promotion and Selection Board. So personally, whenever I am joining the promotion and selection board of PEZA, what I look is the personality of each applicant, whether she or he is a mediocre type or not. Personally, I prefer those who are not the mediocre type because we must learn or we must realize that in this business, when you started working already, it's you will not just perform the work assigned to you. There are other times that other tasks may be assigned or other ad hoc functions may be assigned to you. And if you are the mediocre type, you will not survive that kind of industry. So personally, I'm looking for the persons who are motivated with dream, who are very much willing to pursue that dream, and those who are really motivated.
Thank you so much, Miss Angelica. So another question. Um, circle, tama ba? Ayan. Blur yung aking screen. Nagbablock yung screen ko. So next question is for IQEQ again. Ayan. So yeah, so for Miss Kaith, so Miss Kaith, do you think providing a framework, sorry, nawala ako. Genpact pa pala tayo. Tama po, Miss Charlotte, no? Ayan, sorry, nagbablock ang aking screen.
Yes,
Technical
yes,
error.
I'm from Genpact.
Ayan. Miss Charlotte, so the question is for you. So for Genpact, what's your definition of a successful career? May pattern po ba na dapat sundan?
Sorry, your line is cutting in and out.
Ayan. So I'll repeat the question po. So for Genpact, what's your definition of a successful career and may pattern po ba na dapat sundan?
Oh, yeah, successful career. Actually, I believe no pattern to, if you want to apply as a BPO agent, as long as you are confident and you love your job, I believe wala namang dapat sundan. Kasi if you think that this is the right job for you, so go for it. Kasi hindi natin maaalis minsan, especially for those without BPO experience or for those without background in a BPO industry. So, ang mindset nila is BPO lang yan or call center agent lang yan. So, we have to remove that in our mindset. So, no pattern for me.
For you, ma'am, how do you know po or kailan niyo masasabi na successful na kayo sa career na napili ninyo?
Oh, I started as intern student here at Genpact way back 2016. Then I was started as sourcing specialist. Then after that, recently I was promoted as a management trainee. So actually napakatagal ng transition. Pero right now I can say that yes, I am successful and I'm here in a stable company.
Thank you so much, Miss Charlotte. Kasi others po kasi 'di ba, they based their I think success career pagdating sa promotion. So once they get promoted, ayan, so parang every time they get promoted, parang they feel na ayan na parang may changes, may pagbabago sa
Mm-hmm.
career.
Mm-hmm.
So I am not sure if that's also what others feel for
Mm-hmm.
IQEQ probe and PESA. Ayan,
Mm-hmm.
so but for others po, yun ang ano. Pero others then also think that success po parang fulfillment po, no? So
Yes.
personal fulfillment. So I'm not sure it's It's emotionally and physically.
Yeah,
Iba-iba
for me,
iba naman po.
yeah, sorry. For me, kasi success is once you are happy and contented. For me, that's success. No,
Alright,
no,
thank
no,
you.
yeah. Regardless kung
Mm.
gaano mo siya kabilis na-achieve yung success na yon, as long as you are happy and contented kung ano yung meron ka ngayon. So, yeah, that's all.
Alright, thank you so much, ma'am. So, ayan, so circling back to IQEQ. So, next question, ayan, for Miss Keith na. So, do you think providing a framework on how to assess their current level and identifying their main skills gaps can effectively grow their careers?
Yes, absolutely. Because when we're identifying someone for a promotion or for moving forward to a new level of their career, yung framework that has a guide on what certain skills they should have for a certain position is there, um, do natin maa-assess if they're ready for the next level of their career, whether it's going to be a promotion or it could be a lateral transfer from one job to another. That's it.
Mm. There are people po kasi who are very meticulous po, no? No, so they actually parang may sinusunod silang pattern. So do you think po this type of people are more parang mas malapit sa success parang ganon compared sa mga
I could say positively na yes, because having a plan for your future is good. If you plan for it, you're more near to get to your goals. Because if you don't plan, you plan to fail. So planning ahead is very important, and such as having a framework and a list of guides for you to
Mhm.
get to where you want it to be in what you're pursuing, either a job or a side career or a business. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Kate. So next again is Probe, Miss Jessica. So, Miss Jessica, what do you think are the career accelerators or hacks that have helped many people or applicants that you've interviewed, if you have interviewed to advance throughout their careers?
Well, hacks. Maraming, there are a lot of process na we do when it comes to interviewing. But what I can see or what I can say through my experience interviewing people, as long as they are mentally prepared and also they are willing to join or participate such organization, because if these kind of people are not committed or they're not really ready to be part of that team, then it would be useless both for the recruiter or the team and on her side then. So I would say that this person should be mentally prepared and also that they have 100% na willing to do whatever the organization want them to do. Yeah. Kasi if as mentioned earlier, yeah, um there are a lot of possibilities that can happen to you within the certain group. So for me that's the best way for me to be for that question though.
Miss Jessica, follow-up question po. During interview, can you actually somehow predict sa mga ini-interview ninyo or applicants that itong someone na to will grow someone ayan, in the
Mhm.
future?
Well, based on my experience again with the recruiting team, I'm not so sure if that's a good term, but kind of a judger ako when it comes to interview part. So, whenever I look at this person, I want to know on their side, like empathy. Yeah. So, totoo ba itong sinasabi ng tao nito? Is it like, is it true or pagawa-gawa mo lang ba yan? But somehow you can actually feel that person whenever he or she is saying a story, especially on their background aside
Mhm.
from the resume that they have, the way they dress, their actions, you can see that it's legit. This person is legit. or this person is lying to you, or this person is just parang gusto lang makatry ng pa-interview lang naman, pa-experience lang naman. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can actually assess those kind of people during the interview moment, and actually it's enjoying because you get to know different people first stage
Mhm.
pa lang.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Jessica. Parang
Thank you.
nakakatakot si Miss Jessica
No,
mag-interview. Judge her
no,
yung judge her.
judge you
Yes,
in a
yes.
good way though.
Pero yes, pero talaga naman, isa sa mga factor na need na kasi talaga to interview, 'di ba po? Ayan, so, next question is for, Miss Angelica from PEZA. So, the question, ma'am, is, many students struggle with identifying, career options. So often, it does not provide a linear career path to follow, and we tend to assume, that our major should predict what we do next. Tama po, ano? So in reality, um, medyo mahirap. So, and so, because of other factors. So, what tips can you give to somehow enlighten them to still pursue the program?
Hi, thank you again for the question. So, as much as I want to encourage each student here who are graduating students, I cannot comfort you or console you that what the world that you're going into after you graduate is a smooth ride. Rather, it will
Mhm.
be a bumpy ride. There will be a lot of challenges, there will be a lot of trials. And personally, based on my experience, I thought becoming a top notcher, companies will rush to hire me, or companies will pag-aagawan ako, parang ganon. So I really had that expectation. So based on my experience, I do not want to impart that kind of expectation with the graduating students here. But what I am sure of is that God will lead you to the company or to the enterprise that He wants you to be part of. So there are a lot of uncertainties. Sometimes it cannot be prevented that your work is kind of a bit too far from what you have studied. So that's okay. That's perfectly okay. That's normal. And that's not the end. You still have a lot of opportunity, or you still have a lot of challenges to face in order for you to truly know what is your purpose and what do you want in your career path.
Expectation versus reality po talaga, no?
Yes.
Yeah. So, thank you so much, Miss Angelica, for answering. So another question for, Genpact. And so for Miss Charlotte, thank you so much, Miss Angelica. The question is, do you feel like you're making a difference in your job?
Yes, of course. Yeah, like what I've said before. So, marami lalo na sa mga fresh graduate ang hesitant mag-apply sa BPO industry. So, I can say that right now, um, try and try. Don't be afraid. Try to apply in a BPO industry. And if ever you feel that you are not confident or you're not qualified, um, try until you succeed. And if ever you think that you get something wrong during interview, so forgive yourself and try again.
Thank you so much, Miss Charlotte. So, next is for IQEQ again, Miss Kaith. So, Miss Kaith, are there any expectations po you had about this career path that you have found differed from reality in both, good or bad way?
Yes. Actually, as you introduced me earlier, I was a graduate of Bachelor in Science in Hotel and Management. And right now, I am working in recruitment. So, yung expectation versus reality ko is
Mhm.
when I was studying, I really liked this course because I get to be with people. But when I was doing my internship through various hotels and also in a cruise ship, I realized that this course that I have selected, hindi ko pala talaga siya gusto. So, hindi pala ako pang face to face kailangan kausap yung people because I experienced working sa hotel bilang receptionist, sa cafe, and while I was there, as I mentioned earlier, when I tested the waters, I realized na, oh my God, um, hindi ko pala gusto yung ginagawa ko. So, that's why I redirected and shifted to recruitment. I still get to do what I want, which is to connecting to people, pero in a different way. Not serving them, but helping them get to their dream jobs. So that's what I realized in the future. And right now, I think I'm making a difference in this line of work. And still using what I learned while I was studying, just applying it in this line of work.
Alright, thank you so much, Miss Kay. Ako dun sa ayan, so yan. Thank you so much, Miss Kay. So next po, for probe, and Miss Jessica. So, for you, ma'am, what are the biggest challenges for working in this industry, and what do you think are the compromises?
Okay. So challenges. Actually, as I mentioned in the introduction part, um, from ESL, biglang transition sa BPO. So for me, this was a very big adjustment for me because on that part, you get to teach children, you get to teach Asian people how to speak English. On this part, wow, it's a different world. It's like corporate world. But actually, with that learning, what I learned from ESL is I can also incorporate it naman here in BPO kasi I get to meet different people. Plus, advantage of it is that my experience and my knowledge is increasing. And yun, I'm still at this moment, I'm still enjoying the things that I am learning today. And maybe sooner or later I can share it with everybody as but yeah, everything we get to learn every day. So as of now, I don't see it as a challenge or negative as of the moment. But I enjoy it and I'm learning it. I'm happy. Thank you, Miss
Alright.
Joyce.
Thank you so much, Miss Jessica. Ayan na, LPU sa mga fresh grad, ayan. Puro positive yung mga ano, sana malesen yung takot if ever na meron kayo. So, ayan. So, thank you so much, Miss Jessica. Next question po is for PEZA, Miss Angelica. So, ma'am, what skills do you think are the most crucial to succeeding in this 3 year?
I think when you're applying specifically for a if you have a target enterprise that specializes into something, I think what is important to consider is technical skill. For example, in the customs industry, you cannot apply as a customs broker, as a signing broker, if you are not a customs broker. So that's what I meant when a technical skill is important. But aside from technical skill, other equally important are the soft skills. For example, you are a team player, how you were able to contribute to the success of the company, or how were you able to contribute to the growth of the company or to the growth of the people themselves. And then other soft skills such as fast learner or can work under pressure, and such other skills that it's just not about work, it's about connecting with people.
Alright. Thank you so much, Miss Angelica. So, ayan, technical skills daw po. So, next question is for Genpact. So, Miss Charlotte. So, what's the best bit of advice you have for someone looking to move into this area or industry?
Okay. So, the best advice that I can give. So again, don't be afraid. If you want to try in a BP industry, you just go on. And actually, it depends on the account. So right now here at Chanpac, we have lots of account open. So we are also inviting no BPO experience, and also college undergraduate or college graduate, even high school graduate. We have opening.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, I think our last question for IQEQ, um, Miss Kaith. So, what developments on the horizon could affect future opportunities?
Um, that's a very broad question. I think yung changes na nangyayari ngayon from our transitioning from on-site work to full-time work from home, and right now since the pandemic is ending, um, new graduates should be adaptable to change. So I think that's what they need because we don't know yet what would happen in the future. So um, all of us who are already working, just going to the workforce should be adaptable to change. That's it.
All right. Adaptability. Thank you so much, Miss Kay. So, one last question pa po pala for everyone. So, what do you think are the secrets behind getting to where um you go to? Miss, anahin na po natin si Miss Charlotte. Miss Charlotte.
Okay. Sorry, come again.
Yes, ma'am. I'll repeat the question. So, what do you think are the secrets behind getting to where you've go to?
Okay. So I guess the secret is for me it's very simple. Be happy. So I believe if once you are happy on what you're doing, everything will follow. Yeah,
All right.
that's
Thank
all.
you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss Charlotte. So, si Miss Charlotte, happy lang talaga. Happy lang talaga yung personality niya. Next po,
Yeah, I
Miss,
don't want to make everything complicated.
True. Thank you, ma'am. Next, Miss Jessica. Same question, ma'am.
Well, for that part, learn from your experience and from your mistakes as well. Okay, so for mistakes, we will not be better person if we do not commit mistakes in the past. Okay, so that makes us um, successful or learn from it. Actually, mistakes are best teachers. Okay,
All right. Thank you so
also
much. Ay, sorry,
for
ma'am.
I'm sorry
Yes.
to okay, for experience as well. Let's not stop learning again from ESL. Yeah, let's not stop learning from what we learned before kasi nga yeah, kakambal ni mistakes yung experience natin. Right? So we can incorporate that in our future self. Oh, ito yung nagawa ko, ito yung mga achievements ko. When you look back to it, for me that's a definition of success kasi. So when you look back on
Mhm.
your past and your past self, then um the feeling is different, fulfilling. Ganun ba? Ayun. That's for
All
me,
right.
Miss Joyce.
Thank you so much, Miss Jessica and Miss Kay.
Hi, Miss Joyce. Can you please repeat the question? Naputol ka po
Yes.
kasi kanina sa akin.
The
Kanina.
question is, what do you think are the secrets behind getting to where you've go to?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat po again? Sorry,
What
Miss
do you
Joyce.
think are the secrets? What do you think are the secrets behind getting to where you've got to?
Oh, okay. So I think one of the secrets is perseverance, and then being open to learning new things, and
Mhm.
partner that up with adaptability that I mentioned earlier, because you'll really get in this industry for the long run if you are adaptable to changes, whether it be in
Mhm.
your work, in your life, or globally na nangyayari. That's it. Thank you, Miss
Thank
Joyce.
you, Miss Keith. Thank you, Miss Keith. And last, Miss Angelica. Same question, ma'am.
Hi, for me, there's no really secret or a standard process or a formula to be able to get to where you want to. So as long as you put your heart and your mind to it, you can achieve anything. I'm always saying this to every speech where I am getting invited to, that you can achieve anything as long as you put your heart and mind to it.
Thank you so much, Miss Angelica. Thank you so much, ma'am. And again, thank you everyone. And at this juncture, we will be giving the floor to everyone to promote your vacancies or tell us something about your companies. So first up, we give the floor to Genpact, Miss Charlotte.
Okay. So, yes, right now we have opening for customer service representative, and also we do have opening for technical support, non-voice, back office, and also we do have opening for healthcare account. So it depends on the experience and qualification. But again, if ever you are fresh grad or no BPO experience, it's okay because we have opening for BPO fresher. And if you think that you are not confident but you are trainable, don't worry because we have also free language training, or we call that gateway.
Thank you
And
so
yeah, for those, yeah, sorry, for those applicant, you can just send your resume link at jobstreet180.com/Chanpa.
Okay,
Thank you,
so
Miss
let
Joyce.
me repeat that one. So if you're interested, guys, you may submit your resume link to www.jobs180, jobs180.com/genpact. And so next up, we give the floor to Probes EX, Miss Jessica.
All right, so hi everyone. Okay, so I would like to invite fresh graduates with experience who are willing to be trained and to be part of Probe CX. Kindly visit Jobs 180 as well. Okay, for more job opportunities as well. Don't you worry, guys. Training is available naman. And yes, you may also visit our page as well. Okay, so see you there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So the career site for Pro po is www.chops180.com/pro. Ayan. So you can submit your resume link directly po sa mga links na nakikita nyo na nag-run sa ilalim ng inyong screen. So next up, Miss Angelica of PEZA. Ma'am.
So for the benefit of those students who don't know about PEZA, because I presume all of the custom student knows about us. So PEZA is a government agency actually. It's the Philippine Economic Zone Authority who is supervising all the FDI or foreign direct investments in the country, which I believe all of the speakers today are part of. Prove, Genpact, IQEQ, EYGDS are all part of PEZA. And all of the vacancies in PEZA are posted in our website, www.peza.gov.ph. So if you are interested in any of the vacancy, you may directly PM me or you may email me or you may chat me on Facebook. I can assist you since I'm part of the promotion and selection board. And also, just a brief introduction about PEZA. PEZA is the biggest investment promotion agency in the Philippines. We have branches or offices all over the Philippines, even in Mindanao or in Visayas and in whole Luzon.
All right. So PEZA po is a government agency, not the PEZA pie. Kidding. And so thank you so much, Miss Angelica. And so next, and last, sorry, from IQEQ, Miss Keith.
Hi everyone. So I'm Kate of IQEQ Philippines. So our openings are for junior accountant, open to all fresh graduates from accountancy or finance related graduates. We have a three-step easy application process. So HR interview for 30 minutes, trial balance exam for an hour, and a technical slash final video interview for an hour. And we are doing a work from home slash hybrid setup. So you can work from home. You can also work from the office, whichever you prefer. And we are inviting everyone to visit our Job Street 180 slash IQEQ page and check out my LinkedIn and Facebook. You can also connect on those channels directly to me. See you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Keith. So again, you can submit your resume link directly to www.chops180.com/IQEQ. So thank you for that. Miss Jessica, Miss Charlotte, Miss Keith, Miss Angelica, to our speakers, thank you so much po. And again, all the opportunities mentioned will be posted in our website also. It's www.chops180.com and also available at your school portal. So for LPUBs, the school portal is schools180.com/LPU Batangas. And of course, on behalf of LPU Batangas Career and Placement po, office. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your time and your expertise for this afternoon. And of course, before you go backstage, LPU Batangas has given the certificate of appreciation to Miss Jessica Galang, and for her sorry Miss Jessica Galang, Miss isahin ko na po para ano lang, isang basahan. Miss Joane Kaith Rusel of IQEQ, Miss Angelica Olarte Macatangay of PEZA, and Miss Charlota Velasco of Genpact for your invaluable contribution as guest speaker in the first Career Congress of AY 2022-2023 of the Career Development Alumni and Placement SEDAP Office of Lyceum of the Philippines, University Batangas, held via virtual platform given this ninth day of December 2022, signed by Dr. Alex D. Ilagan, the Director of Career Development Alumni and Placement, Dr. Cecilia Siping, Vice President Academics and Research, Mr. Frederick C. Badilio, Senior Vice President and VP for Finance. Thank you so much po. Thank you, Miss Jessica, Miss Charlotte, Miss Angelica, and Miss Kaith. Ayan, so, ayan, mabuhay. Girl power. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Miss Joy.
everyone.
Thank you po.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So there you have it, guys. So we are done with the talk proper. Ayan, and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. And so to our audience, thank you for staying, and we hope you learned and enjoyed the session. If may tanong pa po kayo, you may send us a message sa aming Facebook page or facebook.com/jobs180.com. So to officially close our program, may we invite Dr. Alex De Ilagan, the Director of Career Development Alumni and Placement, or SEDAP, to give us the closing remarks. Sir Alex, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Wala akong name.
Nawala si Sir Alex. Parang tabunan po siya ng
Bakit wala?
ng ng VG background niya, ng virtual background. Ayan. You're on spotlight now, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So on behalf of our President, Dr. Peter Laurel, Mr. Eric Badillo, our Senior Vice President and Vice President for Finance, Dr. Cecilia Pring, our Vice President for Academics and Research, and the entire Management Committee of LPU Batangas. Of course, to our partner in a very successful career congress, jobs180.com, headed by its Managing Director, Mr. Kim Chua. I would like to express our gratitude to our speakers, to our panelists who shared their insights and expertise with us this afternoon. To Mr. Kim Chua, Mr. Dennis Supetran, Ms. Jessica Galang, of course, our very own Ms. Angelica Macatangay, Ms. Joanna Kaith Rusel, and Ms. Charlotte Velasco. And of course, to our host for today, Ms. Joyce, thank you very much to all of you. Likewise, our appreciation goes to our Dean, Dr. Ray Fernan Reposar, our department chairs, Sir Jexel and Sir Derek, especially to our Career Development Coordinator, Ms. Erica Luestro, who help us coordinating with their graduating students. Our pre-registered participants who join us today in StreamYard Live, and for making this virtual career congress a success. I hope that what we learned today will motivate us to be an effective job hunters and will inspire us to look or find job in the future. Thank you also to the administrators, especially to Dr. Maribeth Benbiahe and the entire Eslia family, MIS department headed by Mr. Alex Madlangbayan, and of course, Ms. Ellie Dalangin, who coordinated and prepared this career congress, Ms. Antoinette Malibiran, Ms. Catherine Aborot, and Mr. Anjo Laines for their full support in this undertaking. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you again in our future career congress, pre-employment seminar or webinar, and of course, our job fair in the future. And God bless everyone. Thank you again, jobs180.com.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alex. Thank you so much po for, again, trusting Jobs 180 to power your events. Pang ilan na to, sana wag po magsawa si LPU. Thank you so much, Sir Alex. And of course, to Miss Ellie, and thank you, ma'am. To Sir Eric and Dr. Ping, thank you so much po. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So please do not forget to evaluate this event. So the link is flashed on your screen and again available at the comment section. The shortened URL is available at the comment section. And please be reminded na kung sino lang daw po yung nag-fill out ng evaluation link, sila lang ang makaka-receive ng certificate. Okay? So you can drop by at CDAP office at SHL 107 to get your certificates. So please kindly fill out the attendance link and the evaluation link. So you have two links for today's session po, the attendance and the evaluation link. So there, again, we would like to thank each one of you guys for staying all throughout the event, and we hope that the webinar helps you be prepared in the world of work. And of course, we would like to thank again LPU Batangas. Thank you so much for collaborating with Jobs 180, especially Miss Ellie was behind and sa napaka successful na webinar today. Dr. Alex, Dr. Ping, and Dr. Frederick Badelio. Thank you so much po. And of course, we would like to thank also the following sponsors for being our corporate sponsors for this event. And again, for all the career opportunities mentioned po, you may check out our Facebook page. Our website for our career opportunities, www.jobs180.com. And if you think you missed this webinar, this session, you can again rewatch it po sa aming Facebook page or sa aming YouTube page. And please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for. Please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed, and you are welcome, guys, to join in on those sessions too. So the program has finally concluded. This is your host, Joyce Katakutan. We will see you soon and have a great afternoon. Ingat, everyone. Thank you po.
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. Home to formidable brands with Jollibee at the helm. It operates over 5,800 stores spanning 35 countries across Asia, North America, and Europe. From its humble ice cream house beginnings to becoming a dominant industry leader, JFC's business model has sustained profitable growth for 4 decades, evidenced by its steadily increasing net sales, profit, and stock market performance. It is the recipient of numerous international accolades, from Best Employer to Most Outstanding Corporation, to Asia's most admired company. JFC continuously gives back to the communities it operates in through the Jollibee Group Foundation. Its core programs are centered on food security, alleviating hunger so children can continue their schooling, and connecting small farmers to sell their produce to large institutions to uplift their livelihood. Through consistent taste superiority, outstanding value for money, and the highest quality of food, service, and cleanliness, coupled with the talent and commitment of its world-class organization expanding across the globe, JFC delivers on its mission to bring the joy of eating to everyone. Taking it closer to its vision of becoming one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world. This is Jollibee Foods Corporation.